The Grand Prix of Detroit is next on the IndyCar circuit, and Pietro Fittipaldi is ready for the challenge. He sat down with our own Justin Rose.
Happy to introduce everybody to Pietro Fittipaldi, the driver of the number 30 5-hour energy Rahal Letterman Lanigan Honda. Welcome to Detroit, Pietro. Are you excited for this weekend?
I'm very excited. You know, I've always wanted to race here. I've never gotten the opportunity. This is the first year I'll be racing on this track. It's a new circuit for IndyCar, but IndyCar has raced in Detroit for many years, so it's a pretty historic race.
It was on the streets for a long time, went to Belle Isle for a couple of years, now it's back to the streets. And what about this track is so intriguing to a guy who seems to do pretty well on street courses?
The track is very bumpy, not very forgiving, these street circuits. You make a mistake, you're in the wall. So last year was a pretty chaotic race, and I think it's going to be pretty exciting again this year.
It's a unique track in the sense there you have to pick your spots wisely.
The opportunities are on starts and restarts, so that's where everybody, you know, is aggressive. People make mistakes, so in those chances, you have to be opportunistic.
You're about 30% through this season, your first full season with RLL Racing. Give us an assessment of where you're at after these first 6 races.
It's been great. For sure, we've been hit with adversity in a few races, but, you know, we started St. Pete off with a top 15 finish. We finished 13th there. We went then to the non-championship race, which is a thermal challenge, $1 million on the line. We made it all the way to the final. You know, there was 27 cars, only 12 cars make it to the final. We made it to the final. We were running 8th. We had a small technical issue there, which you couldn't finish, but, you know, we showed up. We were fighting for that $1 million. Indy GP, another road course, we qualified 11th, finished 14th, and I had a great experience at the Indy 500, doing over 240 miles an hour there. It's always an amazing experience. The adrenaline you feel at Indy when you're racing that oval is much higher than any other racetrack or race car in the world. Unfortunately, we had a very short race, probably the shortest 500 miles I've ever done in my life. Lasted like a corner and a half. Just, you know, wrong place, wrong time, unfortunately, but in racing these things happen. And on to Detroit now. You focus a lot of the race weekend into performing very well in qualifying. So for you to start as much to the front as possible, because that kind of secures, you know, a good result.
What's your number one goal this weekend besides winning? Because that's obviously the easy answer.
Yeah, you know, the number one goal is, first I need to learn the track as fast as possible in the first practice. Use second practice to really try to improve the car, and I want to qualify, you know, in the top 10. That'll be the goal, because if we're able to qualify in the top 10, it puts us in contention for a podium or a win come Sunday.
And to get your first win.
Yeah.
I mean, you've probably thought about that a lot.
Yeah, I have. You know, to have my first win in IndyCar is something I've been dreaming and wanting to do for a very long time. So it's my first time racing IndyCar full time, and to be able to get a first win in my first season would be, yeah, pretty great stuff.